All right, Larry Krueger here at Levi Stadium with a full breakdown of 49er football from Thursday as they get ready for the Baltimore Ravens. And of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out in Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. And also, this video is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. Check the link in the description. Use that promo code KRUEG, K-R-U-E-G, and they will match you up to your first $100. Well, good day down here in Santa Clara as the Niners are getting ready for Monday night, Christmas night. The Niners and the Ravens. Man, this is going to be a really much anticipated football game. Had a chance to talk today to Nick Bosa, to Fred Warner, to Brandon Ayuk, and then did extended interviews with Jon Feliciano, who's playing tremendous football at right guard, and the newest 49er, Taylor Stallworth. So check that out on the Krug Show on YouTube page. And of course, let's get into some of the news and notes from today. Now, it always starts off with Kyle Shanahan telling us about the injuries. Today, the guys who didn't practice, Eric Armstead did not practice. He's got a foot injury. He's got a knee injury, so he didn't practice. Ross Dwelley didn't practice today. He's got the high ankle sprain. Javon Hargrave did not practice with the hamstring. Oren Burks did not practice. He's got a knee injury. Elijah Mitchell also has a knee. Jauan Jennings was probably the most interesting name on the list. He did not practice today with a concussion, and he's in the protocol right now. And then Cleveland Farrell was limited at practice. Clee is battling an ankle injury. So you're fully updated. As far as Christian McCaffrey, I mean, he showed like some knee pain in that game against Arizona, but he's not listed on the injury report. Dre Greenlaw has been limping around with all kinds of different maladies over the last couple of weeks, and yet he didn't appear on the injured list in any way, shape, or form. So those guys are full go as far as we're concerned. The newest 49er is Taylor Stallworth. The Niners signed the defensive tackle. He played at South Carolina. In fact, he knows Deebo and he knows Javon Kinlaw. They worked out a bunch of guys yesterday, and he really impressed them in the workout. And so they signed him to the practice squad. So, you know, with Hargrave hurt, with Armstead hurt, with Kalia Davis now out with the high ankle sprain, the Niners need bodies on the defensive tackle spot. T.Y. McGill was called off the practice squad, and now Stallworth was added to the practice squad. And I would imagine if Armstead and Kalia and Hargrave all can't go, it's going to be Kinlaw and Givens and McGill and maybe Stallworth Monday night against the Ravens. The Niners also have promoted running back Jeremy McNichols from the practice squad to the active roster. They made that announcement today. A couple other notes. Jerry Rice went on the Fred Warner podcast and talked about how he loves to be on the field before these games. He said, "I bleed 49ers. It means the world to me to be out there." So I think it's really cool that JR is out there touching base with the players. We're talking about one of the greatest players that ever played the game, the greatest receiver of all time, without a doubt. And the fact that he's out there on the field and, you know, dapping up Brock Purdy and running around. The fans love to see him. The players love to see him. I think it's just really, really cool. Kyle also said today, I asked him about three young guys, Robert Beal Jr., Terrell Luter Jr., and D. Winters, and how they all got time against Arizona, and they all played in the fourth quarter. And he said, really, all three of these guys are coming on, and they're getting better each week. So that was good to see, that those three young guys are kind of moving towards significant playing time. One of the things that got headlines was that Marlon Humphrey went on a Ravens podcast and said that he didn't respect a single 49er. And then, you know, a bunch of people, myself included, were like, wow, there's bulletin board material. But then if you go and research it and watch the entirety of the podcast, not just that clip, he was clearly speaking in jest. I don't know Humphrey's personality, but clearly he thought that was kind of funny. So it was not really meant as disrespect as much as just trying to kind of poke maybe the media, the fans a little bit. But it was said 100% in jest. Kyle was asked about his offensive line today. He said he really likes the way his O-line is playing. One of the significant changes is that Big John Feliciano is now playing at right guard, and Feliciano was the Niners' highest graded interior offensive lineman against Arizona last week. And I would imagine Feliciano, who's very, very, very much a veteran at this point, who's seen it all as far as pass protection. You can't fool Feliciano. I would imagine he'll be their starting right guard going forward if he's healthy. Shanahan also mentioned that the Ravens are passing more than they did when they last faced the 49ers in 2019. And that makes perfect sense because the Ravens don't have quite the same cast at running back, and they have a much better cast at wide receiver with Nelson Aguilar, with OBJ, Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman. They've got 4 pretty good receivers there now. Kyle was asked about the impact that Deebo's had recently, and he said Deebo's healthy, and he's in great spirits. He's obviously in great shape. We saw that this summer, and he's healthy. So if he's healthy, he's going to play really, really well, and he's healthy, and he's playing really, really well. So it was also interesting. Kyle was asked a little bit about Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen, and he says that the inside linebacker duo of the Ravens is really the duo that makes their defense go. They're smart players. They're great in pass coverage. They cover a lot of ground in that zone defense, and they take pressure off of the corners because of what they can do against zone defense. And then, it's funny, the whole thing wrapped up with, as the lights have just gone out on me here, the whole thing wrapped up in the locker room. I was walking out, and I rebounded the basketball right by Debo's locker. Was going to throw it over to Ayuk, and Debo said, "Hey, if you shoot the ball and make a shot, you can ask me any question you want on camera, and we'll do a little interview." So I said, "Okay." I said, "Debo, watch out, man. I played a little high school basketball. I can play. I'm not the worst." I go, "I am over 50 now, but I can shoot the ball." And he's like, "All right, let's see it." Took a couple dribbles to warm up, got a little, back between the legs, a little back and forth, and then shot it, airball. I airballed my one opportunity to get a one-on-one interview with Debo Samuel. So no 101 interview, and Debo ripped me to my face for shooting an airball right there with the pressure. All the pressure. Could have gotten a solo interview with Deebo today. All I had to do was hit a jumper from maybe 15 feet away. Not only did I not hit the jumper, I didn't hit the rim. I didn't hit the backboard. I didn't hit anything. It was an air ball. There was no interview. And I faced tremendous ridicule from Deebo on the way out of the locker room. Anyway, good day down here in Santa Clara. Niners getting ready for a Monday night showdown with the Ravens. Since they turned the lights out on me right here, I will call it quits. But thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krug Show. And, of course, thanks to Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring this video. And thanks to all you guys for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube.